My name is Jocelyn Turner Musa, and I'm the chairperson in the psychology department at Morgan State University. And I'm also one of the co-directors of the graduate program in Psychometrics. Psychometrics is a subfield of psychology and literally translates into mental measurements. And by mental measurements, I'm talking about things like intelligence, abilities, personalities, motivation, and attitudes, just to name a few. Psychometrics focuses on the development of tests and measures. It also looks at problems associated with measuring behavior and mental processes, along with the application of quantitative research methods. Psychometricians use their knowledge of statistics and research design to develop, to assess, and to basically evaluate the tests and measures that they develop. In terms of psychometrics being an essential field, today it is. It is used in a number of fields outside of psychology and within psychology, such as education. It's used for personnel selection. It's used in the area of health, and it's also used in research in general, just to name a few. Morgan State's program is unique. It's because it's the only program of its kind at a historically Black university. We're also one of 2 psychometrics or quantitative psychology programs in the state of Maryland, and we also have the distinction of graduating the most African American women with a PhD in psychometrics. We also are unique because we emphasize the role of culture in developing tests and assessments. Oftentimes, underrepresented individuals are not included in the development of tests and assessments, and as a result of that, the predictions made about those populations may be culturally biased and erroneous. So one of the things that we do in our program is to train our students so that they understand the role of culture and cultural sensitivity in developing tests and assessments. Morgan State developed the program in about 2007, and at the time there seemed to be a pressing need for a program like ours, specifically with regard to educational testing. At the time, teachers, particularly those in K through 12 spaces, were teaching to the tests, and those standardized tests typically had poor outcomes for African American students and other underrepresented populations. We felt that most of that may be due to the fact that there was a dearth in the number of African Americans specifically who played a role in the development of those standardized tests. So our program was developed with that in mind. We wanted to diversify the testing workforce. And so through developing this program, we can train a diverse group of students who would eventually go out with their degrees in psychometrics and perhaps contribute to the testing workforce. Morgan State University Psychometrics program offers both a Master of Science and an online post-baccalaureate certificate program. The master's program, it takes about 2 years, or it's about 30 credit hours, and we have both a thesis and a non-thesis option. For the thesis options, the students have an opportunity to develop an original research project guided by a faculty mentor and a thesis committee. And the students have to defend their research in front of and with the permission and approval of their thesis committee. For the non-thesis option, it's also about 30 credit hours, taking about 2 years to complete. The students review an in-depth project or area of their interest, typically their professional interest. And then at the conclusion of their intense review, they develop a project that reflects their review and their specific interests. And this program is pretty much designed for those students who want to go directly into the workforce and may not necessarily want to go on to receive a PhD. For the students who do the thesis option, many of them typically want to go on to the PhD. In terms of the online post-baccalaureate certificate program, this program is about 12 credits and can be completed in one summer. And again, it is completely online. So you have some flexibility in terms of when you can take your courses, but they do have to be completed within the time frame of the summer period. Students in the online post-baccalaureate certificate program typically are those who may want to strengthen their statistics and research method skills in preparation for graduate school, or it could be someone who's already in the workforce and wants to learn more about what goes into the development of tests and measures, such as an educator or perhaps even a data analyst. Well, first and foremost, we're looking for students who have an interest in psychometrics, which means they really need to understand what psychometrics is and what psychometricians do. But really, students who have a strong background in statistics and research methodology, students who are really good in terms of their critical thinking skills and abilities, students who just really want to learn more about what goes into developing a test, what makes a test reliable, what makes a test valid, how do you know when that test is measuring what it's designed to measure. So really having a passion about those things is something that we're looking for in students who are interested in our program. Well, as an administrator in the program, I have an opportunity to work with some of the graduate students who are actually serving as graduate student instructors. And so I really enjoy having the opportunity to watch these students work closely with our undergraduate students in the psychology program. It's also refreshing to have the undergraduate students learn firsthand from these students what it's like to be a graduate student, but also what psychometrics is. Because many of our undergraduate students, unfortunately, don't know a lot about psychometrics, so they learn about psychometrics and the psychometrics program here at Morgan State University, sometimes through those graduate students that are teachers in the classes that they take. Another thing that I like about the graduate students in our program is the fact that they have an opportunity to showcase their research in professional organizations like the American Evaluation Research Association and the American Psychological Association. It's really great to hear about the students' research, to see them have an opportunity to interact with professionals in the field. And some of those students also go on to take on leadership roles in these organizations, and some even win awards for the research that they conduct. So I really do appreciate having the opportunity to look at the students through that lens. One of the things that I would encourage them to do is to speak with the program coordinator or one of the directors of the program so that they can answer any questions that they still might have about the program. Another thing that I would encourage is to get your feet wet. And by that, I mean apply to the online post-baccalaureate certificate program so that you can take some courses in psychometrics and learn firsthand a little bit more about the psychometrics program and what psychometrics is. That way you can make an informed decision about whether or not you want to pursue a master's or a doctorate degree in psychometrics.